I do have a video from patrickcc talking about the most hated YouTuber.
One of the most hated.
Yes, one of the most hated YouTubers is back, and he's not down for good. He's trying to do something that is even worse than what he did before. So that's what we're gonna watch. Shout out to patrickcc for the informative video about YouTubers. Let's jump in.
Hated YouTubers in history disappeared from the internet for years and has now returned with the worst plan imaginable. Nedfulmer from the Try Guys built his entire public persona around being a wife guy.
My wife, my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife.
Oh, und dann hat er.
Which sounds sweet, and it was, until he was
I
exposed
know
for
him,
cheating
actually.
on her with
That's
one of his
crazy.
employees. And after being fired from the company he helped build, shamed by the entire world, and destroying his family, he decided to return to the internet with a podcast interviewing his ex-wife about how he traumatized her.
I just think, how could you do that to me? Like, who are you?
They still talking? Why is it so weird?
So sorry.
Ned's relentless pursuit to return to YouTube despite everyone begging him to stop uploading is starting to look like he has some sort of humiliation kink. And with every video
bro,
he
it's the
posts,
same
he
thing
just
for
keeps digging a
ADP,
bigger
bro.
and bigger hole that is
He wanna
seemingly
be
impossible to
still like
escape.
Social media famous at Buzz.
he's still looking for
trying
attention.
new things. And then I cheated
Still
on my
want to
wife.
be
Although
relevant.
most people remember BuzzFeed as the website that pumped out slop quizzes like what your favorite pizza topping says about your personality and
Yee.
which ousted Arab Spring ruler are you,
What
occasionally
the
they
freak is the
produced something
ousted
people
Spring
actually
Arab?
wanted more of. Like when 4 BuzzFeed employees, Nedfulmer, Keith Habersberger, Zach Kornfeld, and Eugene
Wieso sieht
Lee
Keith
Yang came together to
Habersberger
that
ein bisschen
your
aus
personality
wie
something people actually wanted more of.
freaking
Like when 4
wie heißt
BuzzFeed
unser
employees,
oh
Nedfulmer,
my gosh,
Keith Habers
wie heißt der deutsche YouTuber bei uns? Hand of Blood, Alter. Mann, es ist seine Kopfform, die mich und so ein bisschen auch der Hairstyle, not gonna lie. Ey, people who know Hanno. Ihr seht das nicht? Seht ihr das nicht ein bisschen? Seht ihr nicht ein bisschen? Er sieht ein bisschen aus wie Hanno, ne? Come on. Stimmen wir doch ein dazu.
Berger, Zach Kornfeld, and Eugene Lee Yang came together to create the Try Guys, 4 stereotypical millennial guys who gained viral attention by putting themselves through experiences that most men would never volunteer for, such as wearing women's underwear, getting makeovers, and even simulating childbirth. And while the
Ich glaube, das mit der Childbirth, by the way, war, glaube ich, ein sehr bekanntes Video von denen. Aber ich glaube, ich bin von Smosh zu denen rüber. Es war eine Zeit, wo ich lange Zeit Smosh geguckt habe. Hauptsächlich ihr zweiter Kanal eher, weil der zweite Kanal war irgendwie so ein bisschen persönlicher, fand ich. Und dann bin ich irgendwann zu denen rüber.
And brought to the video. Keith was the big personality, foodie, and musical entertainer. Zach was the mischievous and neurotic troll. Eugene was artistic and poised. But the 4th member, Nedfulmer, was just kind of a regular guy. The college graduate family man who was extremely devoted to his wife.
It's corny, but it's true. When you know, you know. And in a lot of ways, I knew right away on the first evening that we met. And I also remember, like, the moment when I knew that I wanted to ask her to marry me. It was not.
And then you know about the moment when he showed his real face and knew that he gonna be very abusive. Oh.
That I knew I was going to do.
Not gonna talk about that because I don't know what happened in his life.
Ariel meant to me and
But it sounds dangerous.
And my feelings for her, and I just had this moment that I realized that, like, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, I would want her to know how I felt today.
They're married for 5 years and he's still in the my wife phase and has that glow while talking about her. Y'all, if he doesn't talk about you like Ned talks about his wife, drop him. By 2018, the Try Guys had become so popular that they decided to launch their own independently owned company and channel called Second Try LLC. Within 48 hours of their initial launch, their new YouTube channel had already gained 600,000 subscribers. Some of their earliest videos were following Ned Ned in his journey of becoming a father. The Try Guys throw a baby shower. The Try Guys deliver a baby. The Try Guys diet like pregnant women for a week. And the Try Guys meet Ned's baby. Being married and a new father became the central focus of Ned's identity on the channel.
My wife. 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 My wife.
Obsession?
My wife. My wife. My wife.
But make
Vielleicht
no
war's auch zu
mistake,
viel.
this wasn't annoying to the fans. They adored Ariel and just felt that the two were the model example of what millennial love should look like.
We have a special guest joining us.
Your wife.
It's my wife. Tonight, we're getting fancy. Oh, darling, can I take you out to dinner? Say around 6.
Do you think we can?
Why does he sound like he's gonna... Like, bro, his voice cannot sound like this. But if it's his real voice, I'm not gonna say anything about it. It's just like I never heard anyone sounding like this. This is very interesting.
Last 90 years on a
Ja, okay.
spaceship
War zum
cruise
Glück nicht
ship.
seine
I
echte
think we
Stimme.
absolutely could.
Oh mein Gott, wäre das
There's no
traurig.
one I would rather spend 90 years with.
Da frage ich mich, wie er diese
Ariel
Frau
appeared in
gefunden hat,
videos
Alter.
like couples give each other surprise hair makeovers for BuzzFeed, and
Ja,
later
was soll ich
participated
sagen?
in couples content for Second Try, like the Try Guys recreate their wives' makeup looks, and the Try Wives reveal the Try Guys' best kept secrets.
I asked
So we
Ned
got Try
what he
Wives.
wanted me to say, because that's how you keep a marriage together. He did not know what to tell because he's told a lot of his secrets. Most of his secrets are out there. The thing that Ned doesn't talk about very much, that he had a fully fledged career before we moved to Los Angeles. He majored in chemistry in college. That's not a secret. He was a research chemist. He did it for 2 years. And if we did not decide to move to Los Angeles, he probably just would have been a research chemist.
The audience was essentially invited into their relationship with this content. The Evening Standard reported that Ned's Instagram bio described him as comedian and #1 New York Times bestseller, aka Ariel Fulmer's husband, which is a small but important detail. It shows that even in a short social media bio
You
where
wanna
every
let
word
people
is
know,
carefully
bro,
chosen,
it's-
Ned still centered Ariel as a part of his identity. That same article also noted how Ned previously sold a Christmas sweater that read, "All I want for Xmas is my wife." Then in 2021, the couple came together and
That's
launched
crazy.
the Date Night Cookbook, which featured never before heard dating stories and relationship tips, as well as recipes. It described cooking together as their love language, and recipes were organized around different stages of a relationship. At this point, being a devoted husband and father was quite literally the only thing Ned was known for. And while millions of fans were buying into that image, he was about to destroy his reputation in basically the worst way possible by cheating on his wife with his employee.
But real quick, as I've gotten older, I sometimes think it's time to start taking my own health a little more seriously.
Yeah, that's why you're
I
gonna
had-
talk about a freaking sponsor. And I'm not. I'm good. Like, guys, if you need help, if you got health issues, like bro, Zocdog, but like we don't live in America, so that's not the case. It would be the case if we would be in Europe, so we got other health systems. That's not gonna be very helpful. But anyways, cheating on someone even though you've been praising the wife the whole time is kind of sad though. So the question is, what
In under 5
moved him to do that? Like, what did the other woman had that his wife didn't? Because why cheating on bro? Whatever. Das, also, ich finde immer traurig, wie selten Leute in so eine Beziehung wirklich dedicaten können und das halt eher so oberflächlich betrachten möchten sogar. Im Sinne von so F+-Situation oder offener Beziehung, weil solche Sachen passieren. Like, lieber dann fremdgehen und so. Like, wenn du es offen hast, dann ist es genau dasselbe. Es ist einfach nur, dass du nicht mit der Person wirklich zusammen bist. Das ist für mich einfach nur Fake. Das ist so, wie wenn draußen die Sonne scheint, aber es ist minus 10 Grad und du spürst nichts von der Sonne. Da ist keine Liebe drin.
years, the Try Guys YouTube channel was approaching 8 million subscribers. Keith would create content visiting restaurants, trying new food.
immer noch Henno.
Zach was taking a more serious approach, discussing the importance of mental health. Eugene was promoting political activism and fashion trends, and Ned would bring out his wife and kids to show family experiences. And Liz was on top of them, continuing to try new things as a group. It was basically like 5 channels combined into one mega channel. As you can imagine, producing all of this content requires a pretty sophisticated and hardworking team behind the scenes. And because this was the Try Guys, even the producers would occasionally get pulled in front of the camera to participate, such as assistant producer Alex Herring.
Hi, I'm Alexandria. I also don't know.
No, don't tell me it was
Alex's main job
Alex.
was to help with travel shoots and office management, but slowly started to become a popular on-screen personality as fans learned more about her personal life, such as her engagement to a man named Will Thayer.
And Will came in and I was like, ooh, who's that cute boy? Because I didn't like anyone. Like, I met a lot of great friends there, but like, I didn't think anyone was cute. I'd never dated anyone there. And as soon as Will came in, I was like, ooh, who's this boy? And I didn't wear makeup that day because I was running late and my hair was in a dirty ponytail. And he walked in and I was like, oh my God, why didn't I get ready today?
But looking back at old videos, fans believe that Alex and Ned went beyond friendly competition and were actively flirting with each other on screen.
Did you do it?
I'm done.
You gotta make.
Oh,
I'm done.
oh,
It's in my mouth though.
oh. Mine's done.
You're still chewing. You're both still chewing.
For real, but they both married?
Done. You're both such liars.
They pointed out an episode where the Try Guys get into a massive tub of spaghetti, only for Ned to go out of his way to rest on Alex's leg.
I'm a Masters commercial!
Yeah, but you really are though. Like,
Yeah, it is pretty nice.
it's kind of nice.
However, nobody would become seriously suspicious until September of 2022, when Ned and Alex were spotted multiple times in public. One fan saw and took a photo with Ned at a Harry Styles concert at Madison Square Garden. They also claimed he was with Alex. The next day, a Reddit user named Hamilton390 posted in the Try Guys subreddit, multiple people have seen Ned around NYC this week making out with women at the local bars. It's unfortunate for Ariel, his family, and the Try team.
Die wollten ihr Kink ausleben oder so, bro. Both married couples are still going crazy by betraying them.
Commented, "Source, I made it up," only for Hamilton to reply, "Source, I have pics and this is someone close to the Try team." Hamilton then privately messaged this person, identifying themselves as Will Thayer, which is Alex Herring's fiance. Will sent screenshots of a fan who was identified as Julia.
It was
Ashley, that reached
him.
out to him saying, "I went to Niagara, the club, last night and saw her making out with Ned from the Try Guys." Then Julia sent videos of the two, which you can see in the still frame are Ned and Alex embracing each other.
Wow.
In context, Julia said, "Just them two, nobody else. They weren't even trying to be private the entire time they were making out. He was touching her too, all that stuff." Will said he immediately shared the information with
Bro, I'm
Ariel
so
and
sorry
spoke
for
on the
Will,
phone for an
bruh.
hour. Julia also sent a DM to Ariel and she replied 1 week later, "Thank you for telling me." Now keep in mind that very few people on the internet knew about this at this time, as these revelations were almost immediately deleted off of Reddit. Regardless, it's safe to assume that the entire Try Guys team knew about the situation at this point and may have been trying to prevent it from getting out. Ned was
May have
not
been
in the next
trying
episodes of the
to be the
Tripod,
guys
which are
to
released
keep it
weekly.
secret.
Ariel was not in the next 3 episodes of the You Can Sit With Us podcast. Ned also
She
did
couldn't
not
sit
appear in
with
the
them.
tracksuit collection ads, which were posted on the official Try Guys
Kommst du
Instagram
auch
multiple
wieder VC oder
times,
sagst
which
du,
was
willst du
even more
Demos zocken?
suspicious because other behind
Ja,
the
ich hab-
scenes posts indicate
Ich guck
that he
grad
was
noch das
on set
Video,
during the shoot
aber ich
and
schick dir
wearing
erstmal
the
welche
merch.
Demos ich
From there,
meinte.
fans had suspected that he was being intentionally edited out of the videos. For example, in Try Guys Ruin Chocolate Eclairs, Keith eats everything at a Vegas buffet, and Try Guys Try Stand-Up Comedy, instead of including their familiar intro that they put in all of their videos, they replaced them with ads, more specifically ones that only included Eugene, Keith, and Zach.
Ich denke, ich
What
muss dir
was
wahrscheinlich
also
einen Link senden, weil
interesting
sonst
was that
kommst du
every
nicht dran
single
an den
person
Scheiß.
in this Instagram photo of the team in Las Vegas was featured in Keith's Vegas buffet video, except Alex and Ned. Now you have to ask yourself, what's the likelihood of Ned traveling all the way to Las Vegas and then not participating in a video that is being posted to the Try Guys channel, especially on a series that he's normally in? On September 20th, the Try Guys announced that they would be reducing their output by just releasing releasing 1 video per week through October, which made some people
Kannst dann gucken, ob
speculate
es
that they
dich
needed more
interessiert.
time to
Ich habe
edit
einfach mehrere
now.
Demos
After
mal
3 weeks
runtergeladen.
of no Ned and no Ariel, as well as all of the changes, the fans were very curious something weird was going on. Internet detectives came out to find clues. Alex's fiance Will removed photos of Alex and then unfollowed her, then deactivated his account. We would later find out that at this point, the Second Try employees felt the immense pressure from the fans.
We knew there was this stick of dynamite with an uncertain fuse. We knew that at any moment this could and would come out.
And as a result, on September 27th, 2022, the Try Guys Instagram account announced that nedfulmer would no longer be working for the company. Ned followed that up with a post of his own that read, "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship. I'm sorry for any pain that my actions caused to the guys and to the fans, but most of all to Ariel.
Ja.
The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and children, and that's where I'm going to
Hab ich.
focus my attention." Him using the word consensual was interesting because it seems like he is more interested in preserving his image rather than showing genuine remorse. Ariel Fulmer followed with a statement of her own. "Thanks to everyone who has reached out to me. It means a lot. Nothing is more important to me and Ned than our family. And we all request right now is that you respect our privacy for the sake of our
privacy.
kids." The internet absolutely exploded
You
with
are
this revelation. After spending
people
years
of
using his wife and kids for engagement,
the
promoting
social
the sanctity
networks,
of
so
marriage, and
it's gonna
selling
be hard to
in the
keep
form of
things
videos,
private.
reels, cookbooks, podcasts, and
If
other
people is
products,
betraying
the
you.
wife guy was a cheater. Ex-BuzzFeed employees were tweeting about the situation, implying that they were not surprised, which sounds messed up because it seems like this was an open secret, and
Natürlich wieder
yet
nicht
nobody
surprised.
decided to warn Ariel. But we would later find out that actually she
People
was
warned?
warned. According to a user named Dumoy, they took a picture of Ned and Alex having lunch at an Italian restaurant in New York City in May, 4 months
Months
before the scandal
ago.
erupted. And while this could have been a normal meeting, in that same exact month, another
Yeah,
fan
you
spotted
wouldn't
Ned
just
and
have a
Alex
day
at
with
Castaway
someone
restaurant in Burbank,
that.
California, but had some much more scathing accusations. Initially, instead of posting the video online in May, they sent the video privately to Ned's wife Ariel via Instagram DM with the message, "I saw him there with a younger girl with dark long hair. They were kissing and I have some videos and photos of them." But it's unclear whether or not Ariel ever saw these messages. Will Thayer, Alex's fiance, commented, "I wish I knew in May." This also explains why Alex and Ned were so confidently kissing in that club despite everyone knowing him as the wife guy. They were obviously doing this for months, maybe even up to a year, feeling confident that they would never get caught.
Okay.
After the news broke, paparazzi were following Ariel and Ned around
ich weiß nicht, wie lange
LA,
das Video noch
which
ist.
signaled to fans that they were still together.
Hi guys. Hey, are you guys working
Das Ding ist noch ungefähr um die 20 plus Minuten noch.
The Try Guys released a video called What Happened, where they gave an extremely brief and carefully crafted statement summarizing everything I just went over, while admitting they had to be cautious of their words and actions for legal reasons.
On Labor Day
Wenn
weekend,
das für dich
multiple
okay
fans alerted
ist.
us that they had seen Ned and an
Ich
employee
will gucken, was jetzt
engaging
eigentlich die
in public
Lösung,
romantic
die Antwort war
behavior.
jetzt.
Ned confirmed the reports and since confirmed that this had been going on for some time, which was obviously very shocking to us.
And thus began a 3-week process of engaging with employment lawyers, corporate lawyers, HR, PR, and more, in order to make sure we were taking all necessary steps.
Nobody across the entire BuzzFeed or Second Try organization was on Ned's side, and you can feel the Try Guys' frustration because they probably just wanted to call him a piece of shit or whatever, but they didn't want a lawsuit on their hands, which is something they addressed a little bit deeper on a follow-up video.
Wir könnten auch sagen, ist ein Bozo.
Okay, let's talk about it.
How do I talk about the red
Ein
tape without
Mofo,
crossing the red tape?
ein
Yeah,
Lofo,
anytime you say
ein
something
Kofo,
publicly that
ein
puts someone else
Zozo.
in a bad light, it is towing the line of defamation. Defamation is a
I don't give a
single
funky.
offense.
Something that was, once we told the staff that Ned was stepping away, we made this announcement and that we were going to be editing him out of videos. They put the pieces together of what was happening.
Yeah.
We, from a legal perspective, were not allowed to tell them outright, hey, XYZ happened, here's what we're doing and why, because once we say that to our company, it is now public information that can be shared into the world. And also, we were not allowed to say that Ned was no longer working with us until we had officially concluded
The review.
Unfortunately for Eugene, Zach, and Keith, the scandal exploded beyond YouTube and became a nationwide story. Even SNL decided to make an uninformed skit calling a long sexual affair a kiss.
This is, yeah, it's just surreal. There's a lot of anger on this couch.
I'm trying to understand why this story is such a scandal. Was this affair non-consensual?
Worse, he committed the heinous act of having a consensual kiss and not telling us, his friends.
Shout out to whoever wrote this sketch for misunderstanding the entire situation. The guys later revealed that the scandal nearly destroyed the entire Second Try business.
When we went through our events, you know, it changed how our channel was surfaced. It chased advertisers away because we were too hot. We lost millions of dollars in booked branded revenue. It sent our company into a tailspin. And so we looked at, okay, if this can happen, that means that this is not sustainable.
They had multiple videos filmed with Ned that they decided never to release because his involvement was too crucial to the storyline. But for some videos, like the Try Guys Make Pop-Tarts, the editors got creative by replacing Ned with random animals, leaning into the jokes for the fans.
Making little rectangular things with filling inside that you put in a toaster, pop up, you eat them.
All they could do was erase Ned from future content while trying not to hide from their past. And for the most part, the fan response to this was pretty positive. The Try Guys channel would recover with most of its core audience, but it never returned to its peak before 2022. And that's probably because even though fans weren't supportive of Ned, without him there, it just felt like something was missing. And then watching new uploads is just a reminder of what it used to be. Then when Eugene stepped away from the Try Guys to explore other creative projects, it definitely felt like it just wasn't the same anymore. Following the scandal, Alex Herring has disappeared from social media and the public eye and hasn't been heard of ever since. And for over 3 years, this also seemed like the end of Ned Fulmer. He disappeared from the internet, lost the company,
but now he is back and it's worse.
To one of the most embarrassing scandals in YouTube history. But then, in a shocking twist that nobody could have ever expected, at the end of 2025, Ned came back. The worst thing he had ever done to his reputation was about to become the foundation of his new career, and it's so much worse than you could imagine. The first step of his comeback was an interview with People magazine where he said, "For a long time, I wanted nothing to do with social media or the internet. I didn't think it was particularly beneficial to my mental health. If I were looking back at a past version of myself,
don't say that what you did was mental health thing,
it's certainly stronger than it was before. We have a much clearer sense of boundaries, understanding and respecting each other's boundaries, as well as integrity and being direct with each other, even when it might be unpleasant." The second step of his return was the announcement of his brand new podcast called Rock Bottom, where the description read, "Everyone makes mistakes. Some of us really big ones. But what comes next?" Rock Bottom is a show that explores people's lowest, most embarrassing, and challenging moments, featuring raw, unfiltered conversations with comedians, creators, authors, and celebrities. We talk about how they not only survived it all, but transformed their lives. It's pretty clear that what he was trying to do is essentially use his scandal to rebrand, likely to show this transformed, mature man who, made a mistake, but is now learning from it and learning from others. But what he didn't expect was that this was going to be a complete disaster and rejected by literally everyone. He started his very first episode with this apology and addressing the scandal that everyone had been waiting for 3 years.
Hi, I'm Ned Fulmer. 3 years ago, I cheated on my wife with my producer. It became a massive public scandal that caused a lot of pain to a lot of people.
And that's
I
your
know
fault.
that I represented myself as a kind of wife guy who talked about his relationship and put that out there for public consumption. And you, as a viewer, I know that
he betrayed
I broke your trust.
But even more surprising was that the very first guest to explore people's lowest, most embarrassing, and challenging moments was his own ex-wife, Ariel Fulmer.
Is it strange to think that people are watching this and listening to it rather than just being in like a therapy setting?
Oh, heck yeah. It's terrifying. I'm on the verge of like standing up and walking out of this room.
There was something so
And
surreal
she
about
still
a man
came.
building his
That's
entire
crazy, Alter.
career
Ich wäre da
around
nicht
his
gekommen.
wife and family,
Gönn ich ihm
destroying
gar
her
nicht,
family with
diese
a workplace
Aufmerksamkeit.
affair, and then giving
Weil
her
es
a
bringt ihr doch
post-game
nichts.
interview.
Was bringt ihr das da? Was hat es ihr gebracht, da zu sein?
The sum of your mistakes.
Vielleicht auch um Aufmerksamkeit
the
zu
sum
bekommen.
of your past for you. Challenging thing is it's been complicated for a while. I mean, we're still friends. We have
Echt?
children together. go on trips together.
Friends.
Right.
There's a spectrum of being together, not together. Like there's ways in which we're together, but it's like the way that everyone wants to know, like, are you guys still like an item? Are you guys still a couple? We really haven't been at all this last 3 years.
No, we haven't.
Ariel stated that while the couple has moved on and officially separated, the cheating controversy still controls her life in ways that she cannot escape.
I just sort of hid away from it. And going completely dark was the only thing that I could
Wirst du auch
think
mal
to
verstehen, wenn du
do.
liebst,
And for the last
was
3 years, I've just hidden
jemanden zu
behind
betrayen?
the scandal. Now I can't get
Nein.
out from behind it.
Wenn ich jemanden liebe, ich bin keine Person, die da hin und her mit jedem...
Right.
Weil,
But even,
also
like,
die
going
Frage
out in
ist
public
ja,
with
was hat diesen Mann gesteuert, seiner Frau zu hintergehen? Und da spricht man ja nicht mehr von Fehlern. Das weißt du selbst, Bro. Das ist einfach so wie so ein Rage-Bait-Comment. Aber man spricht dann einfach nicht mehr von Fehlern, weil das ist ja eine Entscheidung. Und Entscheidungen, die langwidrig sind halt keine Fehler. You know? Er hat sich entschieden, seine Frau zu schieden. Nee, wieso sie ist trotzdem wieso sie zu einem Interview kommt. Aber wieso soll man, also in welchem Kontext soll ich das verstehen? Wirst du auch mal verstehen, wenn du liebst, dass man da in einem Podcast von seinem Ex-Mann hingeht. So, das ist für mich eher was Businessmäßiges irgendwie, als ob das jetzt hier eine Situation ist, in der die beiden jetzt wirklich zusammenkommen, weil ich muss bei dir wirklich einfach deine Sätze in meinen Kommentar als Kontext für dich wiederholen, weil du Alzheimer mit 20 hast und ist halt echt krass. Nö, du musst halt einfach genauer schreiben, was gemeint ist. Weil das kann man immer zweideutig sehen und mit zweideutig meine ich nicht.
Or just going out to dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Ansonsten werde ich das auch in zweideutigem Sinne sehen.
It's a big loss, but it's also
Und dann muss man halt noch einen Satz schreiben, aber das ist kein Problem. Sowas nennt man Interaktion, das finde ich eigentlich ganz gut. Aber ich verstehe trotzdem den Punkt nicht. Also es ändert ja nichts daran, dass ich den Punkt nicht verstehe.
Like, do you forgive Ned for what he did?
Bro, ich habe danach noch geredet, als ob ich meinen Satz da beendet habe.
Absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No. No.
One of the most awkward moments of the podcast was when they both reflected on the exact moment the confrontation happened. Ned discussed what was going through his mind when he told Ariel that he was cheating.
I remember that moment. It all just kind of like fell down where I totally could see how devastated and just...
Bro, your voice disappeared, bro. You're in the podcast, bro. If you talk like this, no one's gonna understand you properly, bro. Get your voice up, golly, bro.
Traumatized you were, and then it was just like, oh, everything changed for me as well.
Bro's talking like this every time. If bro's talking like that every time, I can't listen to him anymore because it's not like he's been drowning or something. I don't know. I'm choking on some food. Du hast gefragt, wieso sie kommen und hab direkt geantwortet, die haben halt lange zusammengelebt, sich lange geliebt, da ist halt trotzdem eine Bindung. Ja, aber die Bindung bringt einen nicht in den Podcast, die Bindung bringt einen zu den Kindern. Es gibt einen Unterschied zwischen den Kindern und einem freaking Podcast. Deswegen meine ich das mit dem Podcast. Ich weiß ganz genau, dass wenn die Kinder haben, dass sie immer noch miteinander was zu tun haben werden, weil der Vater ja auch da sein muss. Oder wenn der Vater komplett ganz weg ist, dann ist es was anderes. Aber das gibt es natürlich auch. Es gibt diese zwei Situationen. Aber es ändert nichts daran, dass ich mich hinterfragen würde, wieso die dann einfach in einen Podcast reinkommen. Ich meine, sie hat wahrscheinlich einfach kein Problem mehr damit, weil sie ja mit dieser Sache abgeschlossen hat für sich. Und deswegen ist es für sie nicht so schlimm, da reinzukommen, weil ich würde halt, keine Ahnung, ich finde es halt einfach an sich die Situation weird und das ist dann halt eine von diesen Fragen, die ich mitstellen würde, weil das einfach an sich alles weird ist. Aber ich kann so lange nicht reden, ich weiß nicht, wie ihr das macht, das ist ein bisschen anstrengend.
Hurting this person that I love this whole time.
You didn't realize until then?
Well, you know, but then there's other things you tell yourself to kind of sort of compartmentalize, or I guess.
Sagt sie einfach nur. Todstille.
Interesting.
Oh my gosh, that's awkward.
You can see Ariel being totally fed up with Ned's responses.
Bro, ich sag, das
but it
ist
got worse. She
awkward.
was really trying to make Ned understand her pain, but he seemed like he was unwilling to take responsibility for it.
Not only did you having an affair just it shattered
Es
our
ist vielleicht auch einer der
marriage,
wenigen Momente, wo
also
sie ihn einfach
all
mal
of that guilt
konfrontieren
and
wollte.
shame,
Vielleicht hat sie bis
you,
dahin noch
like,
nicht wirklich,
hoisted that on
I don't
me.
know,
Like you gave that
auf
to me. And now I have to carry
öffentlicher
that around for
Basis.
the rest of my life.
I don't think it's fair that as a society you're put in that position. It's certainly not
Huh?
true.
Why are you talking so...
And no, it's not something that I imagined.
Bro, it's a
as I
personal
was
thing. Don't
doing it.
make
I
it of
think
a freaking
if you really like let it sink in just
community
how much you're hurting your
thing. I don't
partner
know what he's
and
talking.
how devastating it is. Like, how could you do that?
Bro is repeating.
It's still very
words.
difficult now, even 3 years later, to see you in pain as you're talking about that. Because there's nothing I can do to change the past or to help.
Did you at least apologize?
Person, he is trying to make Ariel understand his perspective, but she doesn't, because she would have never done something like this to Ned. He
Facts.
says, "How could you do that?" Instead of
That's
saying,
love.
"How
You
I
would
do that?"
never
But
do.
He literally never explicitly says why he cheated on her, even when she asked him directly.
Die kommt 100% Ned, weil der heißt Ned, weil sie wieder die Liebe sucht. Hä, das habe ich auch nicht gesagt, Bro. Niemand sucht die freaking Liebe, Alter. Das war überspitzt. Wenn in so einer Situation würde ich, also deswegen würde ich erst recht nicht kommen, weil ich gönn's dieser Person einfach nicht. Für mich war es jetzt eher entweder, wie gesagt, Business oder wirklich Konfrontation oder was auch immer in ihrem Kopf abgeht, das weiß man am Ende eh nicht. Aber diese Frage ändert sich bei mir nicht, die ich in meinem Kopf habe. So. Mach mal den Podcast von den beiden auf.
I
Nein!
just think, how could you do that to me?
Hell
Like, who
no.
are you?
I'm so sorry.
What happened?
The dream started to break apart for me, and then rather than being able to talk about it or to confront those feelings,
There was this one woman.
I guess I was too afraid to say how I was actually feeling, and I chose to deal with it and deal with
Der reviewt die
feelings I was
halt
experiencing
einfach über die Tatsache, wie er
in
sie
a way
traumatisiert
that
hat und will ihre
was
Ansicht
really
darüber.
self-destructive and hurtful to
Ja,
me.
der will halt
Ned
über
does
an sich in
accept
seinen
that he is
Podcast
at
über
fault
so
and caused
Fehler
her
und
pain
solche
and
Sachen
destroyed their
sprechen.
marriage. You
Hat
can
ja
feel
davon
Ariel's
geredet, dass jeder Mensch nicht
frustration
perfekt
with
ist
him
und so. Und
never
ich denke
still
mir so,
saying why he did it. Imagine 3
es gibt halt
years of
Sachen, die man
discussions,
schon
therapy,
beeinflussen
him just
kann
saying, "I
und das
know,
war
it's my
was,
fault,
etwas,
I
was er
caused it." It's
beeinflussen hätte
almost
können.
like he does
Man,
have a clear
man verrät ja nicht jemanden aus Versehen. Man kann nicht aus Versehen cheaten. Das geht einfach nicht. Ich verstehe nicht.
answer deep down in there, but he doesn't want to say it. Damn, that really sucks that happened to you. Ned's vibe the whole
Ja,
time. Her
deswegen.
saying my children or my kids instead of our kids is very telling. I think most people are used to explosive breakups, two people hating
Jein.
each other or never talking to each
Omi.
other.
Are you married? Er reflektiert nicht in dem Video. Ich dachte, er spricht das doch nur an. Ich meine, in dem Dingens ist es doch die erste Episode. Da reflektiert er doch auch nicht. Der labert doch nur so die ganze Zeit in Third Person, Alter.
Spend time together as a family, and they even travel sometimes, which is extremely rare to see, but it does happen. I even had an aunt and uncle that were like this. They were divorced ever since my cousins were toddlers, but throughout their entire life, they maintained a family, and they did go on family vacations and did Christmases together and stuff like that. What's actually crazy is just this year I found out they were divorced the whole time. I was talking to my aunt, I was like, "You guys were divorced?" She's like, "Yeah, we got divorced when you were like 5 years old."
Dang.
Like, what the fuck? So it
Yeah,
can work.
it can work, yeah.
Towards the end of the podcast, they started talking about the future, particularly Ned's return to social media, and Ariel low-key cast some doubt onto his potential success.
What?
I don't know. I'm just, you think you're interesting enough?
No, I don't.
The response from fans clearly indicated that none of them were here for the Rock Bottom podcast, and nobody wanted Ned to return. But Ned Fulmer has been determined to come back after falling out with the Try Guys and ruining his reputation.
Okay,
With each new
sieht eigentlich ganz
upload, he
okay aus,
continues to
aber
dig a deeper and deeper hole.
sieht halt
After the podcast
schwierig
racked
aus.
up an insane
Boah,
178,000 dislikes, he continued to upload
178.
episodes of him interviewing people who experienced their lowest moments. What's funny is it's actually kind of a good concept for a podcast.
Ja,
His guests
es
seemed
ist
like
auch
they
ein
had
gutes
the
Konzept. Aber da bleibt's auch. Da bleibt's auch. Es ist ein gutes Konzept, aber es ändert nichts an der Person. Die Person ist halt dann, nachdem sowas passiert. Also bei mir sind solche Personen auch unten durch, können mir sagen, was sie wollen, weil das ja eine Entscheidung ist es genau deswegen, wiege ich das schwerer, um zu sagen, okay, ich könnte der Person noch irgendwie was zu tun haben. Ich kann der Person vergeben. Vergeben ist was anderes. Ich bin keine Person, die jetzt irgendwie, wie heißt das? Nachtragend ist. Genau, das Wort habe ich gesucht. Weil ich finde, für mich ist es einfach wichtig, auch wenn ich zum Beispiel so in Streitsituationen oder so wäre, dass ich das halt an dem Tag beenden kann oder halt so schnell wie möglich, einfach weil sonst belastet es einmal einfach auf längere Zeit und damit will ich auch nichts zu tun haben. Und deswegen, so Vergebung ist nicht das Problem, außer ich merke, die Person will nicht wirklich Vergebung. Aber ja, ändert halt nichts daran, dass ich dann mit der Person nichts zu tun haben möchte. So.
stories, but people refused to watch anything Ned was a part of, which is why most episodes could not even crack 10,000 views. Instead of just going away, he made a video on the Ned Fulmer YouTube channel called Addressing the Backlash. Now, this video does clarify exactly what happened after the cheating scandal better than anything else out there. They tried to repair their marriage for 2 years after he cheated by going to therapy and counseling.
In terms of
Krass.
my relationship with Ariel, it started as a therapeutic separation.
So ein bisschen länger
and,
geworden als
from
gedacht,
there,
Katie.
I prepared a disclosure document that
Oh
answered
my
all of her
gosh.
questions and volunteered for a lie detector
Ich
test
darf nicht mehr
to then,
pausieren.
in a therapeutic
Ich darf nicht mehr
setting,
pausieren,
convey that
sonst-
information to her so that we could build something new on the same page of knowing exactly everything that happened. This is a well-known therapeutic technique for people trying to recover from betrayal trauma.
Ultimately, the couple decided to officially end their relationship after 2 years of trying to repair it, and he talked a lot about what he learned in therapy.
I practice empathy and listening and boundaries with Ariel and others, which, you know, is sort of part of what was damaged about my brain.
Man really needed a year of therapy to learn that cheating is bad.
For real?
Weaponized therapy speech final boss. As if it couldn't get worse, he returned to his main channel with a Try Guy style video of him becoming a professional wrestler. He made an appearance on AEW playing a character called Nasty Ned, which made the whole comeback feel a little confusing. On one channel, he was trying to present himself as reflective and vulnerable, and on the other channel, he seemed to be soft launching a slightly villainous sounding persona.
I'm Nasty Ned, aka Ned Fulmer.
Unfortunately for Ned, his audience continued to spam the dislike button. Then, a few days after the wrestling video, Ned revealed another part of his life that had never been publicized, that he had been living with
Health?
multiple sclerosis for more than a decade. MS is a disease that causes the breakdown of the protective covering of nerves, which can result in symptoms like numbness, weakness, trouble walking, and vision changes. In a video titled, I Have MS, Ned revealed he was diagnosed in 2013 after experiencing
Hey, I don't want to
numbness
say
and
anything.
tingling
I hope he
eventually
gets
became
better,
serious enough
but
to affect his ability to walk. According
bro
to people,
gotta
doctors later
go a
found
different
bleedings in
route.
his
It's
brain.
time for a new
MS is one of those
chapter of
conditions where
life.
there are no visible symptoms, and many people who suffer from it are accused of lying because they constantly look fine and act fine and can proceed with normal life. And while this is an unfair judgment for those that are suffering, it seemed like Ned sharing a diagnosis from 2013 was more like one last cry for sympathy that he did not deserve.
Avenue. Oh, that's where I live, just all the way up that way.
So klingt er so verrückt. This looks kind of genuine. Not gonna lie.
Well, I stopped walking.
Listen, diagnosis and condition aside, there must be something so humbling about once having a whole family with a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful boys in a California dream home just to end up crying on the side of a freeway in the middle of night for views, knowing that no one is waiting for you to come home. I'm just saying, I think those tears are from more than
Wait,
just
what happened to the girl? Where's Alex? What you mean no one coming to back home? Where's this Alex person?
Surprisingly consistent, but with each upload came people accusing him of buying views and botting positive comments. Plus, his videos were the exact same concepts and editing style that he had been doing with the Try Guys. He made this return because he said he had this desire to create, in addition to presenting himself as this self-reflective, changed man. But his behavior just exhibits someone who is stuck in the past and desperately hoping for things to return as they were. And in the pursuit to make these Try Guys-esque challenge videos, he decided to try stand-up comedy, with him cheating on his wife being the funny material he brought to the stage.
You don't know me. Don't Google me. I am nedfulmer. Oh, that was so uncomfortable. And yeah, I used to be famous at BuzzFeed for trying new things. Then I cheated on my wife. Turns out that was the one thing I should not have tried that was new. Made me check a lot of the privilege from past experiences being an influencer and stuff. But you know, I've been practicing self-care lately. Things like crying on the toilet and doom scrolling Tinder.
And I guess bombing
doom scrolling Tinder. Bro, I'm still asking myself what happened to this Alex person.
Embarrassment.
Making friends is tough. Dating as a single parent is tough. You know, it's less tequila soda and more my little soda pop. That's a K-pop Demon Hunters reference. It's a children's movie that I've seen approximately 84 times. I did go on a date with someone who is polyamorous lately. They invited me to meet their boyfriend, actually. I'm like, whoa, this is huge. Meeting the boyfriend? Finally,
that's what I'm saying.
Here's a way to make male friends without having to play pickleball. Thank you so much. I've been nedfulmer.
And 7 months into his return, the comment section isn't even making cheeky jokes anymore. They're just being brutally honest with him. Just get a 9-to-5, mate. You're not cut out for
time for a new chapter of life, bro.
Listen, although we do know he is reading them. Most recently, he was invited to do a speaking engagement at
Spring
VidCon,
Nix.
and he responded to the comments.
Bro really hit rock bottom. Time to build yourself up on a new platform.
It was meant to discuss different mistakes creators can make and how to navigate them. When I heard I was invited to be on a panel for fuck-ups, I was like, oh my god, I'm perfect. Now, the intention of the panel was to discuss business-related mistakes for creators. It wasn't for canceled people to get sympathy or redemption. So nothing he said on this panel he hadn't already said before. But the most interesting part, in my opinion, was when the interviewer asked about how Fulmer conceptualized his rebrand, and Fulmer answered that he didn't know, which explains why his return to social media has been a complete disaster. Ned may be secretly hoping that if he just remains consistent with uploads, his comeback will eventually draw in a new audience or an old one that will look past his previous lies. Some people are able to capitalize on their negative press, and that's usually because they have underlying qualities or skill sets that fans choose to focus on rather than the controversies. Almost like they separate
music.
The art from the artist. The problem with Ned was that his entire identity or art was his wife, marriage, and family.
His identity was on this
everything
girl.
he built in his career and his private life was destroyed. He does not have any other underlying qualities or skill sets that you can choose to focus on. So it doesn't seem like he will ever be able to restore his reputation with the public, which means he will likely not be able to sustain a career as a content creator, so it might just be time for this guy to try something else. And speaking of trying something else, I made this really weird video a couple months ago about a Poopgate scandal that's kind of different from my normal content, but I had a lot of fun making it.
Interesting.
I think you'll like it, so you should check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out in private. Thank you, patrickcc. Shout out to patrickcc. Like his videos, very informative, very interesting. Yeah. Still, I have the same opinions. I don't like cheaters because I'm not a cheater myself. And I won't be one. You can talk things out if there's a struggle. It's not something that's uncontrolled. And if there are also ways to, like, there's some stuff that you can control, and that's one of those things is cheating. Cheating is a decision. Even if you cheat in a game, if you cheat by doing stuff that you couldn't do because it's blocked by money, or if you cheat on people because you want to cheat on them. I don't know what goes in people's heads when they do it, because I don't know any cheater in my life yet, and I hope that's gonna stay like that. But yeah, let's move on. That's enough bad energy.